Imagine this situation. There's a police officer who takes his duties seriously. One day, he gets information of illegal drugs being smuggled in. He does not have time to call in a team, so he goes alone. He's a very courageous and honest officer. On reaching the designated spot, he stops a vehicle. He gets a very unpleasant surprise. His own brother, who has been his guide and mentor from a young age, is smuggling the drugs. He understood that his brother did not want to do any of this, but he was doing it as a favor to someone who had helped him in the past. What should the police officer do now? Remember, there is nobody else there, no CCTV cameras, all that. Should he slyly do a hush hush and get his brother to quietly drive away? Or should he arrest his own brother who has been a guide and a mentor? What should he do? Does he have the moral courage to arrest his own elder brother who he respects a lot? This is a similar situation to what Arjuna finds himself in just before the Mahabharata war. The first two chapters of the Gita can teach us a lot about corporate ethics and governance standards. Arjuna comes up with both emotional and logical excuses to not fight the war. He says, Katham Bhishma Maham Sanke Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubi Pratiyotsyami. How can I strike arrows on Bhishma, who is my Pitamaha, and on Drona, who is my Guru, who taught me everything? He also talks about so many other misfortunes that war itself will bring. Lupta Pindodaka Kriya, Varna Sankara, etc. Krishna remains silent and lets Arjuna spill out, all his mental turmoil. Right? Finally, in the second chapter, Krishna makes his observations on Arjuna's confusion. Please note, Krishna is not very charitable or sympathetic to Arjuna at all. He says, you lament and feel sorry for things you should not. And you speak with great intellect, prajnavadamscha bhashase. But knowledgeable people don't speak like this. Krishna even says, Klaibhyam mas magamah partha. Don't go towards cowardice. Imagine calling Arjuna a coward. He uses words like anarya justam, asvargyam, akirtikaram Arjuna. Refusing to fight a dharma yuddha is not a respectable thing to do. It won't bring you good results. It will definitely bring you a bad name if you shirk your duty. In Krishna's mind, fighting adharmic, evil forces like Duryodhana, who had his own sister-in-law dragged out in public and tried to disrobe her, is Arjuna's main duty, to fight such evil forces. If Bhishma or Drona come in the way of establishing dharma, Arjuna cannot go soft on them. Running away from his duty by talking all kinds of intellectual stuff is not acceptable to Krishna. Do what you gotta do, says Krishna, do the right thing. Doesn't matter if it's Bhishma or Drona or any other family member. Your allegiance is to your duty towards society and God Almighty. This is the correct path of dharma. Don't go hunting for intellectual excuses when duty calls. It's interesting to note that corporate governance can draw a lot of insights from the stand that Krishna takes. He always stands on the side of dharma.